reason I'm gonna find
Turn left onto Australia.
way to do it. I'm gonna, find a way to, I'm a big dude, so it's like, I'm not very agile, but on stage for some reason I can run on stage.
Yeah, adrenaline.
I feel like there's nothing I can't do when I'm up there, but then as soon as I get off the stage, I go back to,
In 600 meters, turn right onto Konradstrasse, B6.
deflate.
You said you lost a lot of weight. What did you do in terms of your diet?
You know what? I was very consistent. I was able to eat, and have a plan. Like, I'd have breakfast, I'd have lunch, I'd have dinner. Whereas before, God, I was always on the road, so it's like I never wanted to eat before I went up on stage because then it would mess with, like, I get heartburn, and you don't want to be burping or farting in front of the crowd. So I wait until the end, and then by the time the show's over, what's available to eat?
It's terrible food.
Terrible.
And you're starving.
Yes.
Can't wait to eat.
Yeah, and then go to sleep, and then it was just that cycle repeat, and it just, over the years, man, it got good to me. So I gained all that weight. So being home for a year, I was having an actual regular clean breakfast of, nothing
Turn right onto Konradstrasse, B6.
crazy from the road. It was all food that was store-bought and preparing my own food.
You can get like a meal prep company that will make meals for you that are like
I've done those. I've done those.
How'd that work?
I was into it for a couple of weeks, but then it's like, man, I'm tired of fucking broccoli. Tired of this shit.
Yeah.
What helped out a lot too was that every day I was walking a lot. I was lifting weights 3 times a week.
Well, that's great.
And then again, going to see my doctors, getting on certain plans. Like, I wear a monitor now for my sugar. So I'm able to keep tabs on my sugar, whereas before it was out of control. I was averaging, waking up at 400, which is like, you might have to go to the hospital. Normal, you want to be somewhere between 80 and 120, at least for me. And so, I was riding what they say, the check engine light on.
Jesus. That's good.
And so, and then I got high blood pressure, and of course, you don't know it until...
In 600 meters, slide right onto Kleine Marienbrücke.
They tell you, or until you, check yourself. So then getting on medication for that, getting on medication for diabetes, and, now I'm sounding like Joe Diaz. Hey, you got a cocksucker, you got to get the diabetes, you got to get this and that. But getting my health in order with the doctor and with the food and with the working out, whereas I wasn't able to do that on the road. Or I would make a lot more excuses because I didn't,
Also, you won't have energy for those shows. And sometimes when you work out really hard, after it's over, you're so tired. And when you're really tired, it's hard to fire back up to get ready for the shows, especially if it's a new thing you're doing. If your body's adapted to it, you can do it pretty easy. But if your body's not adapted to it, like a hard workout, it's like, what the fuck is this?
And all my energy goes into the show. So when I'm up there, I'm hitting it. I'm not sluggish. I'm not standing still.
Right.
I'm
I've seen you.
Performance. So it's like, but then when I get off of it,
The thing is, if you did get healthy and you did get in shape, it would really genuinely help your ability to maintain that. Because, just imagine if you said you lost 70 pounds. Imagine if you had to do your show right now with a 70-pound vest on.
Oh, God, yeah, I know.
Yeah, it sucks. And that's the reality of weight.
Yeah.
That's the reality of gravity.
My knees, my hips.
Everything. Everything.
Breathing harder.
Yeah. I do workouts with a 25-pound vest on. And just a 25-pound vest on. Just 25 pounds. It's not even that much. Like, if you pick up 25 pounds, it doesn't seem like much. That 25-pound vest makes a giant difference. Do everything with that vest on, and everything's way harder. Farmers carries, chin-ups, push-ups, dips, bodyweight squats, everything's harder. But just 25 pounds. People gain and lose 25 pounds like it's nothing. But when you're walking around with that 25 pounds on, that is just, you're carrying that, man. That's a lot of burden on your resources.
Slide right onto Kleine Marienbrücke.
Biological resources, your tissue, your bones, your joints, your hip, your back.
Continue for 5 kilometers.
You just fatigue, and then maybe the writing that you do, maybe your writing would be sharper. Maybe you'd have more that you were thinking about if you had more pumping through your body,
Oh, believe me, it's. I agree 100% with everything that you're saying, and
We're
it's
gonna
not
get you,
even.
guy.
It's not even an issue of not knowing or not understanding or not seeing the bigger picture.
Gotta get you on Adderall and Ozempic.
Nice.
Let's go.
I just
Let's
got on
go.
Ozempic.
Did you?
Oh yeah.
Does it work?
Want to hear something funny? I got approached by Ozempic early on before they had the fucking song. And
What's the song? I didn't even know they have a song.
Ozempic. It's based on that old
Christ.
song, yeah.
Oh, it's magic, that song?
It's so they approached me and they wanted me to be their spokesperson for Ozempic.
Yeah.
And we took a meeting and everything, and I appreciate the fact that they actually approached a diabetic to be the spokesperson.
Diabetes medicine.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the new Wilford Brimley, So the deal didn't work out.
But you're still doing it, so you're on it. How long have you done it?
What's funny is I wasn't on it when I took the meeting, and it wasn't like I said when 2020 hit and I went to go see my doctor. He goes, "I'm gonna put you on this thing called Ozempic." I'm like, "Are you freaking kidding me?" I'm like, "I could have been getting that shit for free." But so it's once I give myself the shot once a week. Some people use it to lose weight, like people that aren't necessarily really big.
Yes.
Will use that to suppress their appetite and stuff like that, because it will make you a little nauseous. Like in the mornings I wake up and I'm like, oh, I gotta drink like a shake or something.
So you only do it once a week. When people are on it for weight loss, do they do it like every day? Like how often do they do it?
I don't know what the cycle is for using Ozempic for weight loss, but I just know that when I first did it, I dropped 15 pounds like a week.
Wow.
Yeah. So your body will react to it immediately, but then of course you plateau and stuff like that.
They say that it limits your appetite. That's one of the big effects of it.
Yeah,
Is that what you found?
I was waking up queasy, and so you feel a little nauseous. You're not really trying.
It's crazy because it's everywhere. Like you see all these ads for it, and even like Tony Hinchcliffe brought this up. Like CNN had a thing on it, but it seems like a story, but it kind of is an ad. It's kind of an ad for Ozempic, but it seems like it's a story about Hollywood celebrities. But really, you're just jazzing up the fact that everybody's taking Ozempic. Like it seems like there's something more going on there other than just
Ozempic.
Yeah. Like you probably got paid to do that story.
Because I'm telling you, I take it every week, and that initial first hit of the weight loss, yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
But it doesn't. At least it didn't continue for me.
How often do people take Ozempic when they're trying to lose weight, Jack? It's still once a week.
It's like also you're tapering off, I think, or maybe it gets higher. I think maybe it's actually ramping up the dosage. Like you start, we'll say like 2.5 units up to like 1.
But there's supposed to be a time where you're supposed to get off of it, right?
As far as like for if you're trying to cut weight with it,
I think the cut weight people.
Don't know.
It's supposed to.
They're pushing
it is
that.
like a cycle. Like you're supposed to do like your 12 weeks on, probably 12 weeks off.
These motherfuckers are pushing that,
Right.
though.
But it does help regulate my sugar.
Yeah.
So I between the monitor, because my monitor's always checking my sugar. So, for example, right now I don't have the monitor with me. It's in the car because the honey spikes my sugar like nothing else.
Sure.
But because my voice is a little off right now, so I'm taking the honey.
Yeah. So do you watch like sugar, like bread, you cut that stuff out of your diet?
After a while, you start knowing exactly what does what. So you already know, like, I can eat that, I shouldn't. And then, you see things and you're like, all right, this is going to set it off. So I also have I take insulin.
Oh, okay.
So I play that game.
How long have you been doing that?
Oh, God, over 5 years for sure.
So is this type 2 diabetes?
Yes.
So that's the type that you can reverse with diet and exercise?
Yes.
Yeah.
And again, it's not for lack of knowing. I already know.
I get it, bro.
And that's what sucks. It's like, I feel like everything that I've ever attempted to do for my career, I've been able to do. But for myself, my personal self, losing weight's been the hardest thing. The hardest fucking thing in the world.
Somebody explained it to me and it makes a lot of sense. One of the reasons why food addictions are the hardest to stop is because you still have to eat food. Whereas, like, say if you had a gambling addiction and you went and got counseling and you stayed out of the casinos and now you don't have to think about it anymore. You don't have to gamble every day, but you have to eat every day.
Yes.
So if you have an addiction to food and then you're eating fucking celery with a little bit of peanut butter on it, like, what is this?
Exactly.
Well,
I would just eat the peanut butter. I'd eat the peanut butter off the celery.
Yeah. Well, it's hard. It's a very difficult one because of the fact that you have to engage in the same activity that you're addicted to, which is eating. You have to. in order to stay alive.
You know, and then you hear words like, oh, moderation. Oh, you just got to be, be more mindful. I'm like,
well, it's like everybody's got this.
It's a feeling. It is like a drug. It's like when you're eating oh God, you're eating some pasta. It's like, you feel good. You're sitting there like, it's not just the eating part. It's how you feel.
100%. That is all Italian food is for me. I mean, it's the feeling of it. It's like when you're all sitting around drinking red wine, I know I'm going to feel like dog shit. And like an hour
later, at that time.
At that moment, it's worth it. But it's just only worth it for me, like, once in a blue moon. When I eat like that all the time, I get fat, I just, like, get slower, my brain doesn't work as well.
You get foggy.
Yeah, I get foggy. And it's so easy to gain weight. It's so easy to keep eating when you're eating, like, bread and pasta. I could just overeat pasta to the end of time. Like, I'm done eating, but I still want more. Like, I'm more than stuffed, and I'm still, like, twirling my fork in that spaghetti.
And freaking bread is the biggest crack.
Oh my God.
Bread. Oh.
And then they come over with some tiramisu. You're like, fuck it, I'm in.
Nice.
So you're already stuffed. You can't even eat any more spaghetti, and you're just down in tiramisu. Yeah, I've had some very high-calorie meals. But as long as I don't allow myself to do that every now and again, I'm good. So what I do is I eat almost entirely meat. That's most of my diet.
High protein diet?
Yes, I'm on what's called a carnivore diet. I'll have a piece of fruit every now and again, but that's kind of it. I mean, a little piece of lettuce. I've cheated a couple of times. I had an acai bowl the other day, but it's rare. Mostly and I feel great when I eat like this. I just feel like I lose weight, I get lighter, and I'm more clear-headed, which is very, very strange. And I think it's because your body starts processing ketones. Your brain starts processing ketones instead of carbohydrates.
Anytime I've had success with weight loss, it's always because I cut out, I went higher on the protein and I cut back on the breads and the pastas and the sugars and stuff.
I'm gonna get you a guy, I'm gonna get you a guy. I'm gonna get you somebody to fucking say you're right. We can do this. I want to make it a project.
Some of the things I've tried, I've actually hired a nutritionist to live with me, like a person making me my food. And I just got
person cooking in your house.
God, yeah. You know what? I choose happiness.
Yeah.
I'd rather be fat.
If you'd rather choose happiness too. The thing is, like, you can do both. You can enjoy food, and you can also lose weight and be healthy. But you have to do it the right way, and you have to do it in a way that's sustainable. That's what's different.
I keep hearing the word lifestyle. It's a lifestyle.
Yeah. You just got to get addicted to being healthy, right? You're addicted to food, and I am too. I get addicted to food. But you also can get addicted to being healthy. Another thing that happens is when you start eating really healthy, especially when you start eating low carbohydrate, high fat, high animal meat, your gut biome changes, and that starts becoming what you're interested in eating. Like, your body craves that. If I eat a lot of sugar and a lot of carbohydrates, I just want to eat it all the time. I want to eat bread with butter. I want to have a sandwich. I want to have a bowl of spaghetti or a lasagna or something like that. But when I don't eat like that, that's not what I crave. Then I crave meat. Like, that's where I'm at right now. Like, so I'm 2 months in. So I'm trying to eat eggs and meat all the time. That's all I'm hungry for.
And you know what? I've been able to do that for a while, but then I start craving the bread or tortillas or pasta, rice, and it's just like,
How do these Mexican food is so fucking
yes, it is.
delicious.
It is amazing.
It's so fucking delicious, bro. I love me a Mexican restaurant, like one of them hole-in-the-walls that has the Mexican soap operas playing and nobody speaks English. You know you're gonna get the real shit. There's a place called the Big Burrito, and I think it's like right outside of Woodland Hills, where my old studio was. And we would go down there, man. It was sensational. Lengua quesadillas. They had real menudo that smells like a barn. It was outstanding. The real shit, with all the oils and the red and fucking the tripe and woo.
In 300 meters, use the right lane to take the A4 slip road to Berlin, Orleans.
God damn, it's good.
Put the letters in the window.
Oh my God. That's the spot. That place is so legit.
Look at the little thing where you can buy the toys for $0.25.
I used to not blow them up because I didn't want to ruin it. Now
Use the right lane to take the A4 A4 slip road, then merge onto A4.
They sent me a message the other day thanking me because we talked about it a bunch of times. It's so legit. But there's a bunch of those places. They're all throughout LA, you know? I mean, when you got a lot of Mexicans, you got a lot of great Mexican food. It's like you go to East Coast, a lot of Italians, a lot of great Italian food. You know, you got to go to where those people make it, like, authentic. And out here they do Tex-Mex, which is a little different.
You know what? I like it a lot. I like Tex-Mex. I prefer Tex-Mex.
Continue on A4 for 1 kilometer.
Do you really?
Yes, I do.
That's sacrilege.
I know, right?
next level. They drink tequila till like 3 o'clock in the morning, do mushrooms, and the next day they get IV'd. And it's the first time I did it, I was like, oh, because like we had gone hard. We did the Tacoma Dome in Seattle, wherever the hell it is, Tacoma, Washington. We got out. It was so fun. It was like one of the first ones we did. So it was just crazy afterwards. And we went out and we saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood privately in a movie. Dave rented out the whole movie theater. They had popcorn for us and everything. It was fucking amazing. And it was like 3 in the morning. And, you know, everybody's hammered.
Oh my God.
Donnell Rollins started snoring. A bunch of people started snoring. It was fun though, man. But then the next day, you're like, oh, Jesus, we're going to show tonight. But you get that IV, you're like, I'm still good. You fire right back up, have a good meal in you, get some vitamins. Let's go. Let's fucking go.
Man, watching a movie at 3 a.m. in a theater.
In a theater, yeah. Eating popcorn too. They have bags of popcorn for us. It was amazing. They had candy laid out for us. Dave's a rock star. He's a different human. You're traveling with him, people just let him do shit. Fire up a cigarette in a restaurant, no one says shit.
How awesome is that? Like only him and Snoop could probably pull it off.
Yeah, Snoop could pull it off. Snoop could spark up a joint in the middle of a police station and they would just smile. Can I get a picture, Snoop? Yeah, I mean, you achieved legendary status. You deserve that, you know, for sure. What are you gonna do? It's part of the thing. But it's just cool to know people like that, you know. That's one of the nice things about LA too, is that they're always coming through. And that's nice about Austin. A lot of guys been coming through. So it's like, you know, when someone's in town doing a theater, I'll go check them out. You know, go to the arena. Like we went to see Bill Burr when he was at the arena. Went to see Louis. He was down here at the Moody. It's great. It's been fun.
The Moody. That's where I was at last time.
God, that place is awesome.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
We were there for the Kill Tony 10-year anniversary show on Saturday night. It was insane. It was insane. Because I was there. Have you ever done Kill Tony?
No.
You gotta do Kill Tony. You must. You have to. You gotta be a guest. It's so much fun. Do you know what it is?
I've heard of it, but I've never. I keep seeing it popping up.
It's professionals. Like guys like Shane Gillis and David Tell. They'll sit in, and they're the guest. And then they have comedians. A lot of them amateur, maybe first time ever on stage. They're gonna do 1 minute. And then the
I've
comedians.
seen, I've seen it. Yeah.
It's hilarious. It's a great
It
fucking
can be
show.
brutal too.
It can be very brutal, but also loving. And a lot of people have best. He's the nicest guy. You know, you can get to the success that you've reached and not have a pile of people that are hating on you. That's amazing. That's beautiful.
Yeah, especially in this business.
Especially in this business. Yeah. This business can be either the most community-oriented, comforting, fucking beautiful brother and sisterhood, or it can just be backstabbing nightmare, depending on the circles you travel in, and the stage of your career, and also what you give off. So what you give off.
And that was another thing too, is that I always kept the circle very small, and I always kept
legitimate willpower. Like, I don't know how much he was running at all, but he certainly wasn't running a marathon a day. He wasn't running enough to protect himself because he destroyed his feet. Like, his feet were destroyed. And by the end of it, he was in fucking incredible shape. But he was running a marathon every goddamn day. I think he only took like 1 or 2 days off the entire time. So he ran 27 marathons in 27 days.
Oh my god.
Back in 43 and 51 days.
Is this the first time he did it? This 27 one?
I believe so. I know he's done. I almost think he's done it 3 times.
they're more primitive than plants. Like, they're really primitive things. They don't have any, like, they're not feeling jack shit. Like, they're kind of like a plant, but they're a plant that moves, but they're not a plant. They're a mollusk, but they don't have a brain. There's, like, whatever that is just like some sort of meat with a shell.
So it's a green light.
It's a green light, I think. I mean, as much as eggs are a green light too, because they just lay them. So if there's no rooster, there's no way that's going to be a chick. You're not hurting anybody. Eat the eggs. And you have a good relationship with the chickens. Chickens eat the grass and food. What is this?
I think that's what it is. It says it's a scout.
That's how a scout flies around?
I don't know.
Whoa, is that real? They swim?
It seems like that's not what's happening, but
It is what's happening.
that's what's happening.
Well, it is what's happening. It swims like a that's crazy. I didn't know they could do that. Yeah.
Plan, huh?
Well, whatever the fuck it is. Whatever it is. It just moves. It's obviously not a plant. It's a mollusk, but it moves. I mean, that's the thing that it does. It moves.
There's a video I've seen of pufferfish, I think, eating them. You ever seen that?
Oh, wow, that's wild.
Chew on it, it makes a loud crunch.
Yeah, 'cause the shell's hard.
Yeah.
Freaking pufferfish.
Whatever they are, though, is not really an animal. That's why, like, I've heard, like, a neuroscientist make this one. Like, it's really, like, probably the most ethical thing that you can eat. As long as there's, like, sustainable numbers of them. Because it's like they don't even know you're eating them. There's just nothing going on there. It's just a piece of meat covered by a shell, right?
How many beings do you know?
I know quite a few. Yeah. How about you? You know what?
I know of them.
I respect people's choices, and I think that one is a complicated one, and it's a convenient one too. The convenient one is not taking into account all the animal deaths involved in large-scale agriculture, which is where you get most of your vegetables, because there's a lot of animal death involved in that. A lot. There's also poisoning. There's a lot of poisoning of the land with pesticides and herbicides. There's a lot of shit that goes on to these monocrop agriculture establishments, which is where you get a lot of your vegetables from. And it's not good. And it's not good for the environment. It's not good for the animals. It's definitely not good for any animal that lives in that field. They're getting fucked up. How many animals get churned up in combines?
Yes.
How many birds and gophers and groundhogs they kill? It's
In order you had to maintain the crops.
yeah, I mean, Ted Nugent has broken it down, and he actually knows the statistics and like what is actually involved in it. But when I talk to people that run these regenerative farms, when they describe industrial farms and all the shit that they have to do and how all that gets into the rivers and poisons the rivers, it's wild stuff, man. And that's vegetables. That's how they're growing things on topsoil that's dead. So they have to constantly pour all these fertilizers and nitrogen, all this shit all over the ground because there's no nutrients left in the topsoil. You have to do all this. It's real complicated, man. And the water that runs into the rivers, it's sort of, there's this guy, Will Harris, from White Oak Pastures, and he has a regenerative farm, and he's right next to a farm that's an industrial farm. And there's like a clear line between the runoff on his side where the water's clear and then the runoff on his neighbor's side where it's immediately you can see that it becomes mud. See the line? Look at the line. That's the line. That's the property line. On the right-hand side, it's just horrible. On the left-hand side, it looks like a river. And that's the dividing line between their two farms, which is fucking insane. It's insane that that's legal and that that's normal. That runoff, it's like unintended pollution. What are we going to do? It's on the topsoil. The topsoil's all dead, so all the stuff that they pour on it just runs off when it rains into the river.
God, look at that.
Yeah. So, there's that. You know, and then there's this new evidence that plants can think, and plants communicate, and plants share information, and that through mycelium, through the translate the book, and they realize what it actually says.
Make sushi out of Ted.
This could have cut off. It's only a 6-minute video.
How long is it?
6 minutes.
No, that's definitely not the whole.
You're still on Earth on the ship with me. It probably doesn't make very much difference because sooner or later, all of us will be on the menu. The recollections of one Michael Chambers, or more simply stated, the evolution of man. The cycle going from dust to dessert. The metamorphosis from being a killer.
I think it's before that he realizes it. But anyway, God, yeah, that would suck. It would suck. Especially, like, we can sort of justify killing dumb things, you know?
But
Dogs are pretty smart. There's people out there that are eating dogs.
yeah,
Dogs are pretty goddamn smart to be eating them.
there's a lot of animals that have, I feel are very smart. Pigs. Pigs are very smart. You can train a pig to do almost anything that you can train a dog to do.
Just think about what people do to dolphins. Just think of that. They're just fucked up. I mean, they're really smart. Now imagine some alien that's just like, what if humans are delicious? What if, like, in all the cosmos, they're like the favorite food?
Yeah, or like a buffet.